My name is Jacek. I'm a CEO in the STX Next. It's a Polish software company, agile software house. We work mostly with customers from UK and from England. I'm a part of the company management team responsible mainly for operational management and also for growing agile in the company. Also, I'm a leader for Scrum Masters and team leaders in the company. And after hours, you can find me on Twitter. I'm also a blogger on agilecoaching.pl and co-founder of ABE15 I would like to share a story today, how we implement the salary formula in our company. So first I will tell you a little bit why we decided to do it. Then I will tell you what problems we had to face. Then I will say a little bit what was the feedback from the company after we implemented, and a little bit about the future, so what we think works and what we think we need to improve. So probably the important thing in this story is that the company grew during last year from approximately 100 people to around 200. And of course, on the one hand, there is a lot of benefits of that. So you have more customers, you have more technology that you can use. But of course, on the other hand, there is more issues to be resolved, problems, and of course, among other problems, you have to deal somehow with salaries. So formally, there was no clear rules in terms of salary. So every time if someone asked for a pay rise, you had to somehow handle it. And we thought that probably there is a better way to deal with it rather than just spending time on unpredictable interruptions that were coming from the company. Also, we thought that probably we should improve in terms of setting expectations. So it was not clear what is important when it comes to creating salaries, why someone should get pay rise or why he should not. So that was the part of our work. And also we thought that there is no fairness in the company. I mean, we felt that no matter if you just recently joined the company or you are with us for a few years, we should assess only your skills and knowledge, know your negotiating skills. So I was familiar with Management 3.0 idea, mainly because I read Management 3.0 book and Management 3.0 workout from Jürgen Appello, and I of course recommend these two books for you guys. And for you who are not familiar with this idea, salary formula is just a formula which allows you to calculate salary. It's based on transparency, and also it's based on fairness. These two things are important here. So all you have to do is to figure out parameters. You have to assign these parameters to people. I mean, put people in appropriate buckets, and thanks to that, you are able to just count the salary. Everything is transparent. The whole salary formula is visible for everyone, and I would say the downside from the employee point of view is that you can't negotiate your salary. There is no way to do that. So I decided to talk with the CEO about this idea, and to my surprise, he agreed that we could try. So our first step was try of a dry run. So we picked a random team. We came with simple parameters. We assigned these parameters to people, of course, based on our feelings. And it was kind of surprised that even in such small population as one team, same people, I mean, with similar skills, similar knowledge, they had different salaries. So despite first problems, we thought that, okay, we need to figure out how to deal with it. And we start to thinking what is important for us from the management point of view, what we value in terms of salary. And we came up with 5 parameters. As you can see, it's experience, it's seniority, it's versatility, location, and advocate. And I will walk through all of them so that you could understand it better. So first one is experience. This one is very simple. It's about your years in IT industry. We did not count internships, of course. So For instance, if you're a Python developer and you have 2 years of experience as a system administrator, yes, we count it. But if you're responsible for delivering pizza, unfortunately, we're not. The second one is seniority. So it's about your skills and your knowledge. We have 5 levels there. So it's intern, junior, regular, senior, and expert. And all these levels, they are described in different documents, and we call it growing paths. Another one is versatility. So it's about your broader skills. So it's, for instance, let's say you are a backend developer and you know something about CSS or JavaScript, or you are a tester and you can write some code in Python, because we are a Python-based company. So the more you know beside your core skills, the better. Location, this is quite obvious. We have 3 offices in Poznań, Wrocław, and Piła. And the last one is advocate. Advocate is how you, as an employee, how you promote our company on events like this conference. You can also write blog posts on or be active in social media. So we thought that is also important. Okay, so this is how the formula looks like in general. So we have, say, some base amount of money, and then we have a few parameters. And of course, the higher the parameters you have, the higher the multiplier is, and your salary grow. So let's take a look on an example. So let's assume that you have 1 year of experience, your seniority is junior, versatility medium, you're located in Poznań, and your advocate is minor. So after you put appropriate parameters, values, I mean weights, to be more precise, to the formula, you are able to calculate your salary here. So probably the good question is, okay, so that sounds quite obvious, but how you came up with these weights? So this is interesting story, in fact, because we had dilemma. So we were thinking that either we should reflect the current salaries in the company, or we could build it from the scratch. So we decided to do the first thing. So what we did was we prepared the list of all employees. We assigned all these parameters to the employees based, of course, on our feelings. We assigned the current salaries, and then CTO of our company wrote the algorithm, which was responsible for looking for these parameters. And this algorithm ran for a few days and did 1 million of permutations. At the end of the day, we get the appropriate weights for parameters values that were as approximately close to the current salaries as, of course, we could. So every tester and every developer in our company has access to this simple form. So after he enters all the parameters, he is able to count the current salary. And what is important here is that you can also enter different parameters, so you can somehow forecast your future salary, assuming, of course, that you are, self-developing. So after we release the formula, around 77% of developers and around 52% of testers get the salary rise. Of course, some get more money, some got less. And of course, we had situations where someone get from the formula less money comparing to what he already had. And in such situations, we decide not to lower the salary, and instead of it, we just encourage people to work on the parameters in upcoming 20 months. Yeah, so we thought the idea is perfect, but of course it was not. And probably the first important issue was that a few people decided to leave the company, mainly because of the formula. That was the first reason. And the second reason was that they get less money from the formula comparing to what they had previously. So that was the first thing, and unfortunately, we are unable to do nothing with it because there is no negotiating, like I said. So either you like it or not. That's kind of the downside here. Another thing was that people start to complain that we have too few steps in this formula. So usually you could expect your salary goes up twice per year or once per year, and right now it was only based on how you grow with your parameters. So it could be even a year or 1 year and a half without any grow. So that was also a problem. And probably the most controversial one was advocate. So people felt that, okay, we value some kind of activity outside the company more than the technical skills. Yeah, so after 6 months as a company management, we sit down, we start to thinking, okay, what we can improve, and we decide to first thing add more steps in the formula, and the second one was that we decided to move advocacy. So to sum up a little bit, I will start with pros. So definitely the main benefit is that this formula is fair for everyone. So no matter if you are good in negotiating or not, you can get fair compensation. And I believe that it also somehow prevents people from playing dirty games, because all is clear. And because all rules are clear, we don't have to explain it to every person separately, because you can just enter on our intranet site and read what are the parameters, how we count it, etc. All things related with the salaries are transparent, so people know what is important because of the parameters from the management point of view. That's I would say very important thing. And also a few days ago I was talking with the CEO of STX Next, and he mentioned that he thinks that he saved around 200 hours, both he and the financial director, because of the salary formula. So yeah, it's a lot of time and also a lot of money that was saved. But of course, on the other hand, we spent a lot of hours preparing this salary formula, preparing these parameters, talking about the edge cases, talking about the base salaries. So yeah, definitely need to spend time working on it. Another thing is that this formula is quite simplified. So imagine you have two developers, and one is super engaged and the second one is not, and they all have the same salary. So this first guy, he could be demotivated because of that. So we right now are trying to think what we can improve in the formula to somehow reflect this, but it's very tricky, and right now we don't have answer for that. Also, as a management, you lose some kind of flexibility. So if someone came to you with a different offer from the market, I mean, you can do nothing with it. Okay, you can encourage to work on the parameters, but you can negotiate his salary. Yeah, and it's also difficult to maintain, because if you have approximately 200 people and you want to change the salary formula, it will impact on the whole company. So you have to be really careful with that. Yeah, so for all of you who know Scrum, and I believe the majority of this audience know what it is, there is a quote in Scrum Guide that Scrum is simple to understand and difficult to master, and everyone probably who tried Scrum can agree on that. So I would say that there's similar thing with salary formula. So it's simple to understand and difficult to introduce, but on the other hand, we had a lot of opportunities to learn about our salary in our company, and I encourage you guys to do the same. Thank you.